In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
My parents had locked me out again. They joined wild parties and often came home drunk. It wasn't the first time that I spent a night between...
Oh, come on, these are stories. We want to talk about the truth. The whistleblower does not know where and when the abuse happens. He simply found the child somewhere in the past. He did not call authorities then, but clearly he remembers the child said it was hit and abused in the past. He did not say his parents are alcoholics, but complaints that follow are full of references reaching from alcohol abuse, dog abuse, on to sexual abuse. Could there be someone who wants to create a pattern and reasonable cause for an abusive relationship?
Now look, I know you're a teacher. You ought to be able to do something about this.
Is that enough for authorities to start an investigation? The answer is yes. Because it's the law, and because the authorities simply don't know what's the truth. Since then, 17 years have passed and nothing significant has happened. Well, the family's reputation is damaged. Mark, the boy you saw, has lost his mother. The whistleblower plus a bunch of deceitful others have contributed to the destruction of a family. Nothing significant for the state of Charlie Crist. But this part is about hard evidence and what follows.
Can I have your phone number, sir?
That recorded phone call was requested for voice recognition, but disappeared.
Whistleblower Gary White.
My husband is a Massachusetts trooper. He can't work anymore because he got whacked in the back at the prison.
But in court he admits he was prison guard, now on disability.
All day long I biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard.
Judge Thomas may think,
so what? He lied to report serious abuse of a child.
Maybe. But the final shots come from State Prosecutor Jeffrey Allen Smith. Jeff prosecutes sexual misconduct at the time where Marcus couldn't possibly be at the alleged location with his victim. She claims rape threats. Her invitation to a private birthday party just days ago was unsuccessful. Trial Judge Howard reduces the charges.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
But that is fixed.
So now I am guilty.
Jeff moves for a psychiatrist to prove his point. He fails again. Jeff dreams about his black robe,
A big tall house,
the fiddler to become rich and famous.
right in the middle of the town.
But one person smells the bluff and offers help. Not his mother, she died. Rich Howard, the judge who feels the truth. But the dark force is stronger.
Just going up and one even longer coming down, and one more leading
Jeff
nowhere.
grabs his last straw.
Show.
He personally alleges sexual abuse in an executive order to DCF, quote,
Act immediately, at exactly this time.
He knew Mark wouldn't be home. Why? He listened to the time and place for evaluation as ordered by Judge Howard. DCF knocks and fails. Certainly, they move for Mark's appearance in an interview. Granted. Guess what? That fails again.
So, how can we punish those horrific abusers?
Simply get the attention of the judge.
Accuse them of ignoring probation orders. Tell the psychologist Mark's attendance in class is no longer needed.
Jeff sends a messenger, the probation officer, to tell this fake story.
Case closed.
It works. But the messenger didn't inform the parents. and claims in front of Judge Howard,
Your Honor, parents refuse your orders. They stopped Mark from attending classes. Mister, I don't believe you. I dismiss your claim. The parents have not been properly informed about this hearing today.
He made quite incriminating mistakes.
oh well, Jeff has to take care of some damage control now. To falsify court transcripts is just one of them. The official reporter calls it a typo. But several pages missing, that's not a typo, that's baloney with a bad taste.
Marshall Court reporter with Joy Hayes and Associates in Inverness. Mr. Caller, you are indeed correct. There was a typist error.
But wasn't it fully published?
We don't care, Mike. Well, we don't even care whether we care or not.
Jeff never fought my publications as being false or misleading. You see, in the end, God speaks louder than fake propaganda. By law, detectives and prosecutors can lie to find the truth. God says, "You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor."
If I were a rich man, yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum. All day long I biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum.
If you or your family is accused of something and you're innocent, you know it's wrong, but you don't know who told the story. From all the tales that were circulating, I only remember the strongest ones. To abuse alcohol and then let your child sleep in the forest at 2 o'clock in the morning, that was the strong one. But even stronger was to get a phone call from someone claiming exactly that. Every logic governs that you present such evidence to the state attorney for help. And you don't expect to get arrested for that. But that was my mistake. I didn't know it's illegal to record conversations. Even though the person who called you says, "It's all on videotape, Kurt." Now you find out that this caller and your neighbor are good friends. I didn't suspect my neighbor, but then I get a document from the state attorney that proves it was him and not the caller. It becomes pretty clear something smells funky. Now that he knows he's detected, a series of serious allegations follows from your neighbor. I attempted to run him over with my vehicle. I pointed a 9mm handgun and a sports bow at him, and I told him he would be soon 6 foot under. Some of these claims went to court and were dismissed, not by the judge, by the plaintiff himself. Let's not forget about the dog abuse story that also went down the drain. It is quite possible that Gary was instructed by Jeff Smith to say all these things, but who can prove that? Here's what I can prove. Mark receives a birthday invitation to a party of a girl, and he doesn't show. Just weeks later, the same girl accuses him of sexual misconduct in school. According to his school planner, he wasn't even out of class that day. And according to State Attorney Jeff Smith, the incident happened outside the class, in a hallway where he threatened to rape her. Mark is suspended but not arrested. Don't you think that's serious enough to act immediately? Then I get a phone call from the school principal that Marcus is running around on school property while he's suspended. But in fact, he's sitting right in front of me at my desk at home. Maybe a coincidence, but he was also accused of bringing the gun of his father to school. Well, I never had a gun, not when Gary White claimed it, and not now when the school did. But at the least it's interesting to compare those two allegations. Gannon Westmoreland was sent to terminate Marcus's probation classes and later claimed in court that it was the parents. You think a probation officer would do that on his own? And Jeff, finally I can prove this. You called or instructed someone to call DCF again 3 years after that story began. Keep playing poker and I keep calling your bluffs. You will burn in hell while Gary freezes his ass off back in Massachusetts. Good luck to both of you.